The corrupt nanny, aiming to pocket the grocery money, deliberately picked up some free diseased beef. Then she used the leftover oil from the range hood to cook for the lady of the house. As a result, the lady was sent straight to the hospital. At that moment, the couple regretted their actions. It turned out that a month ago, the man's relative came to work as a nanny. Since she arrived, she began cutting corners. She even used her own torn underwear as a dishcloth, claiming she boiled water in an iron pot to ensure cleanliness. The woman thought she was just being frugal, and assumed she had experience taking care of children. Little did she know, the nanny reused the baby's soiled diapers after drying them. The money saved would go straight into her pocket. It wasn't until the woman went to comfort the crying child that she found the baby's bottom covered in red, swollen rashes. The woman quickly called the nanny and rushed to the hospital, but just before leaving, she glanced at the balcony and noticed something was off. She then discovered that the nanny had been using the dried-out diapers for the child. She angrily questioned the nanny about this. She gave her a $10,000 monthly budget, and yet the nanny was still being so frugal. Seeing the woman suspecting she was pocketing household money, the nanny collapsed on the ground, crying and throwing a tantrum, accusing the woman of looking down on her and making things difficult. When the man got home, the nanny played the victim, claiming the lady was picking fights with her, and even falsely accused her of withholding her pay. The man urged his wife not to argue with the nanny anymore, explaining that the nanny was simply frugal, honest, and lacked parenting knowledge. The woman, after hearing this, felt her words were too harsh. She immediately transferred $5,000 to the nanny, telling her not to be so tight with money in the future. However, from that point on, the nanny became even more outrageous. She held the child while indulging in her phone. One time, so engrossed, she fell asleep, and the phone almost fell on the baby's face. Seeing the woman upset over such a trivial matter, the nanny simply threatened to quit, telling the woman to care for the child herself if she could do better. The woman, thinking the nanny was just unskilled at looking after children, asked her to heat up some soup her mother had sent. But when the woman was out, the nanny drank the entire pot of soup. Then she reboiled the leftover bones and served it back to the woman. After only a few sips, the woman found the soup tasteless. Upon closer inspection, she noticed only chicken bones left in the bowl. The nanny, unfazed, claimed the soup was always like this, saying maybe her mother had eaten it all. The woman didn't buy this excuse. When the nanny couldn't come up with anything better, she admitted to drinking the soup. The woman angrily asked how she could drink soup full of her saliva, but the nanny stubbornly argued, claiming her saliva could cure all diseases, and drinking it was a blessing of 8 lifetimes. The woman was so angry she walked away without a word. The next day, she left the grocery money at the entrance, telling the nanny to buy some fresh seasonal vegetables. Little did she know, the nanny, to save money for her son's dowry, contacted a friend who ran a cattle farm to get some diseased cows. She also picked up discarded broccoli from the market, and even used the leftover oil from the range hood to cook. At dinner, the woman took a bite and immediately noticed something strange. Before she could think further, she was rushed to the hospital due to severe stomach pain. The doctor angrily scolded them for eating meat infected with disease. The nanny immediately blamed it on being tricked by a corrupt boss. The couple saw through her lie, but, considering their family connection, they didn't pursue the matter. The next day, the nanny, pushing the baby stroller, went out to play mahjong. Excited, she accidentally bumped into the stroller. The woman happened to pass by and asked who was watching the child while she was playing mahjong. The nanny pointed to the side, saying the child was there. But when the woman looked, there was nothing. That's when she realized the nanny had lost the child.